I think it's August 3rd, isn't it? The 18th Sunday. Here we go, August. And I still haven't gone on my vacation official. I'll be going home in a few weeks with my sisters and brothers. And I get back, it'll be almost time for the end of August. Go home for about 10 days. Be gone for 10 days. I think August 19th. I'll be leaving, come back on the 29th. So anyway, like 8 days home, I guess. 2 days traveling, I guess. That's how it works. Something like that. All right, Luke 12, beginning at verse 13. Some in the crowd said to Jesus, Teacher, tell my brother to share the inheritance with me. He replied to him, Friend, who appointed me as your judge and arbitrator? Then he said to the crowd, Take care to guard against all greed. For though one may be rich, one's life does not consist of his possessions. Jesus is smart. He's a wise man. I seem to know all the answers. But this one, he's not touching with a 10-foot pole. Teacher, tell my brother to share my inheritance with me. He said, hey, who appointed me your judge and arbitrator, right? How many families have been ripped apart because of inheritance, because of money? Oh, I know families. Mom and dad dies, they leave the will. Oh, it just causes a lot of tension. It does. And I know I think with my own side of my family, my cousins didn't talk to each other. That was it. Some sort of fight, disagreement. They ended that way. And that's unfortunately pretty common, So I was always sort of grateful to my mother, really, very simple life. So, Mom, we're going to fight over your towels, There wasn't much really to really have much, So it makes it a little bit easier in some ways. I wanted her blender, but she had mold, so we had to throw it out. So that's that. I didn't get the blender. That's it. And maybe a candy dish, but I don't eat candy anymore, so that's it. But really, really got to be careful. Money can take control of you. Then he told them a parable. There was a rich man whose land produced a bountiful harvest. He asked himself, What shall I do? I do not have space to store my harvest. And he said, This is what I shall do. I shall tear down my barns and build larger ones. Then I shall store all my grains, all the goods. And I shall say to myself, Now as for you, you have so many good things stored for many years. Eat, drink, rest, eat, drink, be merry. But God said to him, You fool, this night your life will be demanded of you. And the things you have prepared, to whom will they belong? Thus will be for all who store up treasure for themselves, but not rich in what matters to God. Yeah, the thing about possessions, be it money, whatever it is, we always want a little bit more. We always want a little bit more, but just the more we have, I think the more supposed we feel secure and safe. And at some level, it's true, right? At some level, it's true. If you're scraping to get by and you have a car problem, you got to bring it to get fixed, and you don't have the money, what do you do? I mean, these are real problems, right? I'm not trying to dismiss, don't worry about it. There's a pressure a lot of people live under. You can't afford your rent. You don't have health insurance, and all of a sudden you have a bill. There's a lot of tension. I don't want to be ignorant of that or, act like it doesn't exist. I'm talking about people who have, and all of a sudden, we put a hope, and what happens? Well, people having money does not prevent you from problems. People get divorced even though they're rich. You know that. There's other situations that happen. You're not safe. There's no way you're safe. So what happens? You got to look, long term. As you say, your investments, you're in for the long term, but in our life, we're in for the long term. Not here on earth, but we're thinking of eternity. To become rich in the sight important to God. Rich become the sight of God. If you really want to measure your faith, how generous are you with your finances? When we talk about generosity with our finances, we bristle, we put a wall up. It's like you can't pass that wall. You're not going through that door. But we're very protective of that. But God wants you to let go of that and trust Him to be generous. Don't be consumed by money. It's important. We live in this world, but after a while, don't let it control you, possess you, and dominate you.